Today we're going to talk about roll mats, the differences between the different kinds of roll mats, and why you want to choose a roll mat over a tatami or a puzzle mat style. We'll go over all of that today in this brief video. Roll mats originated from the wrestling world. So back in the day, they used to make a wrestling mat, an entire surface, maybe 36 by 36 feet, out of one piece of foam, and they would cover it with a rubberized surface. They were very heavy, hard to move, hard to put down, even hard to roll up too. So more recently, the wrestling industry has turned to this style of roll-up mat. It's very light, and what they're doing now is adhering the vinyl to the foam. So this technology is very important and really the secret sauce to a good roll mat. So the Dollamur roll mat is the leader in the industry. They're the official mat of USA Wrestling. They've been around for many, many years, and they really do make the best product. So you can learn from our mistakes. We have tried other brands, some from China and some from other American companies, and really the quality isn't there. So what happens, primarily just like a tatami, the separation between the covering and the foam is one of the main things. So I've been to the factory at Dollamur factory, and what they do, they have a huge machine that adheres the foam to the vinyl, and it's heat applied. So there's an open flame applying this vinyl to the foam. So that's one of the main differences. So if you get a less expensive one, they cut corners by gluing it. So they will glue this foam to the vinyl. And what happens, eventually that glue breaks down. And not even eventually, very quickly, the glue breaks down and separates. So that's a big issue. And so not only does Dollamur use the finest vinyl and foam, it's the process that they put the two together that really makes the difference. And again, just like in a tatami or any other mat, they kind of look the same as any other roll mat, but there is a difference. And again, learn from our experience. We've done it before. We've refunded customers full stop on their entire order just because it's fallen apart. And you know, when you buy from us, that's what we guarantee. We don't mess around with selling inferior products. So the Dollamur mat, I'll show you here, and it's cut with a water jet. So why is a water jet important? It's because if they use a razor, it tends to cut through the vinyl surface. So if they try to use a razor to cut this, it just doesn't work. So if they use a CNC machine with a cutter on it, it doesn't work because the likelihood of cutting through this the vinyl is very high. So what'll end up happening is you'll have little cuts on the surface where the cracks are. Again, learning from our experience, that's what happens. So this is water jet cut. So that will not happen. So that's another very important point. Now the surface of the Dollamur mat, you can get a smooth surface, which is what they'll use in wrestling. And again, when they say smooth, it has a little bit of texture, sort of an elephant skin texture to it. It's never going to cause a mat burn, but it has a little bit of texture. So you know, if it does get sweaty, you're not going to slip on it. On the tatami surface, it has again, what emulates what the traditional straw tatami looks like. So, and that's for the more martial arts. If you're in BJJ or Judo, primarily they will use this thickness, which is 4 centimeters, for the impact. So like a tatami, you can just roll this right out on a concrete floor and away you go. But you know, we often recommend to build a subsurface, a subfloor with foam blocks underneath this. If you're doing big impact fighting, meaning judo or big throws in MMA, to have an entire sprung floor is a really luxury. But if you don't have that luxury, you can just roll these right out on a concrete floor or a wooden floor, and they'll be great. And actually, a wooden floor, although it's wood, does offer another layer of protection, another layer of absorption. It spreads you could potentially have 500 pounds of body slamming onto the mat using this mat, and a hardwood floor is going to absorb it. Having a subfloor built is even going to absorb that even more. So you're not going to get you still want to have a very slick, fast surface, so you don't want to have this as squishy foam. If it's a soft foam, it'd be like working out on pillows, and it's a slow surface, and you just don't want that. But by adding a subfloor, that will give you your harder surface with lots of impact protection when two bodies go slamming against the mat. So now I'll show you how these are put together. So the Dollamur mats have a unique patented adhering system. So back in the day when you have two mats, you would tape them together with mat tape, which we still sell that, and people still love that because it's easy. You do use tape, but it's an easy process. High school clubs will roll the mats out, even just slap a few pieces of tape in particular spots just to hold the entire area together, and away you go. At the end of the practice, they rip it off and they reuse that tape. But what Dollamur has invented is what they call a Flexi-Connect. And so what it is Velcro, and this is a white piece just to illustrate. It makes it show up a little bit better. It's a Velcro flap that rolls out when you have two rolls side by side. You would just place it down and roll out your entire surface, the entire roll side by side, and you do roll after roll after roll, and you can put together a secure system very quickly. So it's a beautiful system for clubs that are operating in church basements or recreation centers where they don't have a full-time tatami area or mat area, or even high schools. You roll it out, it adheres together, and away you go. There's no wasted tape. It's environmentally more friendly. You could go through literally boxes of tape a year, and it's costly the tape. There's a premium to be paid for this, but it pays for itself in probably a year. The Flexi-Connect system. So that's a really good option to consider when purchasing your mats. Again, a little more expensive than buying them without the Flexi-Connect, but it pays for itself in tape usage over the years. And what it does, it also creates a very secure bond between the mats. They're never going to come apart. I mean, I think anybody who's had a taped area knows that during the practice, eventually the mats start slipping apart and they have to retape them. And it eliminates that. It doesn't break up the class. Everybody's had that experience where everybody gets off the mat, pushes the mats together, retapes them, and then the practice begins again. You don't have that with the Velcro systems. So that's a really good, unique feature of the Dollamur mat only. And then again, it's a patent that they have on this system. So for tournaments, people are holding big tournaments. They used to lug in either puzzle mats and try to piece the puzzle mats together. Takes time, or tatami and lay them down, but you would need a crew. I've seen crews of 15 people laying down the tatami, and they're heavy. This is just a roll, and it comes in a roll like this. This is the size of a 5 by 10 roll, but very light, so I can pick it up, okay? Very durable. And so on a tournament application, you would just roll these into the gym or gymnasium, roll them out, roll the first one out, and then roll the second one out with the Flexi-Connect right on top of it. And literally 2 people can set up an entire gym in a matter of, in under an hour. So it's versus 15 people taking 3 hours moving mats on dollies. So this is the Flexi-Connect system. Now, if you have a permanent laydown dojo, if you're fortunate enough to have that, you don't really necessarily need the Flexi-Connect. You would just get the rolls and put them side by side, and what we supply is a vinyl tape that goes over top of it. So goes over top of the seam, sorry. So you would put the two together, put a piece of vinyl tape over top of it, and to cover up the seam, and it's basically a semi-permanent laydown. The vinyl tape can come off at any time, so if you want to clean the mats or if you want to move the mats, you can pull off the vinyl tape and then just roll the rolls up like you normally would. Now, with the vinyl tape, you can actually roll the whole system up as well. So if you've got a dojo, maybe it's in a recreation center, you can actually lay down your entire area, put the vinyl on it, and then roll it up and leave it against the wall to your next session, the next night or whatever, and it just rolls up against the walls and stays there. So that's one option. Or the Flexi Connect. You roll up each roll and stand them vertically on off to the side or in the storage room, and they're ready to go for your next session. So, it's really an innovation for those dojos that aren't full time. It's an excellent, either option is excellent. Now, I should also say that Dollamur also makes different thicknesses. So this is available in pretty much any thickness that you want. We've made them as thick as 5 centimeters for those that wanted more impact protection. We've made them as thin as 1 centimeter for a karate dojo who wanted just a little bit of absorption, a little bit of padding, and it's pretty firm, so we can make them 1 centimeter as well. And along with that, Dollamur, what they also do is gymnastics. They're a huge gymnastics mat supplier. And again, the same system is applied to make a gymnastics mat. They're adhering the carpet, in this case, to the foam. And even grass, an indoor grass system that just rolls out. So this would be used for indoor ball practice, in a gymnasium. It's a quick, easy solution for indoor practice without building an entire turfed area. So that's also an option. So Dollamur is by far the highest quality product on the market. We've fleshed them out to be the best. And again, we've tried others, and Dollamur is the highest quality that you'll find on the market. And like the challenge again is with the mats, they all look the same, but there really is a difference, and you can draw from our years of experience in the market to guide you to what mat is best for you. If you have any questions, please give us a call. We're here to help. We're always available via email or telephone. Thanks very much.